Hey loves, it's Eclectic Moon Witch, and this is Witchcraft 101, Episode 2. This is for beginners, okay? This is stuff that I have in my flower garden. I'm going to show you some stuff that is just in my yard that you can use. It's free. Seriously. Walk out your front door. But overlook me. Look, I got dirt on me. I'm covered in dirt. I've been gardening all day. But let's get started, okay? Okay, first up, we have the Maltese cross. I grow these every year. Let me show you how beautiful. See how pretty? Love the smell of them. They're one of my daughter's favorites. I use those as protection. It's also good for healing. Let me think here. Purification, anxiety, things of that nature. You can put those in spells. What I like to do is I like to take them and dry them out. And then I'll put them in a satchel that I use as for sleeping, which I'll just go ahead and tell you what I put in it. I use lavender. I use the Maltese cross. I use some chamomile. I use some rose. And then I also use one of my most favorite flowers. I'm about ready to show you. It's called the cat's meow. Right here is my second favorite. It is called the cat's meow. Look at these beautiful, beautiful little purple flowers. I swear I love it. It smells like lavender. It's a pretty big plant. It usually gets up to about 2.5 feet tall. And as soon as you walk outside my house, that's all you smell is lavender. You'll see why in a little bit. But now I'm going to take you on to some of my other plants. Plus, I also put the cat's meow in my sleep satchel. Forgot to put that in there. See, now you can see my dirt. I don't care. But anyhow, this is my daughter's all-time favorite flower. It's the orange iris. Sorry, my bad. She'll kill me for that. Not really. But it is the orange daylily. And they're starting to bloom. They have not bloomed yet, but they will. And once they do, I'll get some pictures up and show you guys. I use these, any type of lily, or any type of tulip, roses. Lilies are good for love. Great for love spells. They're also good with new beginnings. Openings. What I mean by openings is like future things that can happen, like a door. You know how the old saying goes, the doors open for you. Things will start happening. I just love them. Next, we're going to start talking about my roses. I have my pink roses. Yes, I use these in different spells. Pink roses I only use in fertility spells. Yes, you can use them in love spells. But for fertility, I use pink roses and white roses. And here is another one of my baby pinks. It has these on there. These are miniature ones. I like just putting them whole in there. Sorry, yes, that is a roll-off in behind me because my husband is laying a new floor inside. Cannot wait till it's done. It'll be done tonight, thank goodness. I have at least 8 different rose bushes, and I use each one of those for different things. Maybe I can cover that in a future video. This next one that I'm going to show you is the dahlia. I absolutely love them. I use them for baneful magic. Look how beautiful. And no, it's not associated with the dahlia that, was murdered in LA that's still unsolved. As far as I know, no. Dahlias I've always used them for baneful magic. And the second one that I use for baneful magic, I will show you another one, is the geranium. I use them also for baneful. I use them more for dream spells, things of that nature. I will not give you all the ingredients on some things because some of you are not ready yet. And then this beauty right here, she decides to bloom whenever she wants to, and right now she's not blooming. That is my clematis. I just love her. I've had her for a while, and I've got some, little sprouts coming off from her, so I will transplant those to make more. But I use her in a lot of fruitful spells, like abundance, anything to do with like jobs and things of that nature. And you can also use it for protection. Oh, and by the way, roses are also good for protection. The reason why is because of the thorns. And then this right here is more that I use. These are ferns. Any type of fern is wonderful for protection. Wonderful. I have ferns everywhere. They're in my house. They're outside of my house. I'm about ready to show you a couple more plants that are awesome for protection. That are just simple outside that you can use, because if you're a beginner, the first thing you need to learn is protection spells. Yep. See these bad boys in behind me? Any evergreen. These are my pines. I have actually 9 pines in and around my house. There are one on each of the corners. Yes, I'll get into that maybe in another episode. But yes, they are used for protection. And pine is wonderful. Pine is wonderful. Okay, pine. This pine right here. I don't dry it out. What I do is I put it in some water. I add about 2 to 3 quarts of water in a pan. And then I get a bunch of these. I call them a bundle or a bunch, which if you have these little ones like this, I would say about 20. You put them in there and you put it on low and you just let it simmer down. Just let it simmer, let it low, keep adding water to it. I usually add once the water starts getting low, because you're going to want to simmer it for about 4 to 6 hours. And once the water starts getting low, then you add a cup of water about every hour to 2 hours after the 4th hour. So for them last 2 hours, add a cup and then add a cup. And then once you're done, strain the pine out of it. I wash my doors with it. I washed outside of my windows with it. I my floors with it. Everything. Pine is one of the best protections you can get. And this big beauty right here and behind me, yes, I know the cicadas are really loud and some of the cars going by are really loud. So I'm trying to talk louder so everybody can hear me. But the maple tree is also protection. It is in the front of my house. I'll go into details later, maybe in another episode. But the maple tree, just its leaves, I love to take those. I like to dry them out. And then I crush them into a fine powder in my mortar. And then I will sprinkle them places, whatever I need to sprinkle them. I use them the same as I would use pine needles. Well, not, cleaning and stuff, but you can if you choose. Some people do. My grandma did. She added those in with her pine needles. And then, but anywho, what I'm getting back at is that, salt, a lot of times, if it rains a lot outside, salt's going to dissolve. There goes your protection. I never, ever use salt outside of my house for protection unless it's underneath my door, my main door that I go in and out of, and my family does. And these bad boys right here, and right in here, you can see, those are my hostas. I love my hostas plants. They're great for protection. I have hostas everywhere around my house. Whenever the leaves die off, sometimes I do take from the plant and I thank the plant. And, but whenever the leaves do dry and they die, that's what I take. And I use that in protection spells, and I have been known to use them in a Baneful spell. Then, of course, you guys know lavender and rosemary. We all know what those are for. You can use those in love, protection, sleep, anything of that nature. Many, many, many uses for lavender and rosemary. Loves. This one right here is my spearmint. Love it. My friend Emily gave it to me. I will tag her probably in this video. I don't know if I can here on YouTube. Oh well. But anywho, I love spearmint. I use it in teas. You can use it. It's great. Mint, any kind of mint is good. Also good for protection. It's good if you put some in like your sleeping satchel if you want to do one of those. I just want to take you all throughout my yard just to let you know what I have and things that you can use in your own backyard. Hey loves, and this one right here. Yes, it's a pythos, but it is a Chinese money plant. And the more it grows and grows and grows, the more abundance that you will have. Give me 1 second. I'm going to step back and show you how much this thing has grown this summer. Isn't she beautiful? And before you even ask, yes, I do take clippings from her. See, here's another one. I've gave some away to friends. This is also an ancestral plant. That means it's been passed down and passed down. And then this bad boy is my thistle plant. Yes, it has gotten big. Normally people cut their thistle down, but I use the flowers from the thistle. That is also used for Baneful in my night terror spells. I use the thistle for protection also because it has the spikes. That's really good. Sorry, there was a bus that went by. Sorry about that. I'm outside. I know y'all can still hear the cicadas. They are crazy this year. There's a 17-year cicadas. As a lot of my followers know, yes, I have chickens. Yes, there's a couple babies back there. But eggshells, that's the point I'm trying to get on to. I like having my own chickens because I know where those eggs come from and nobody else touches them but me, so nobody else's energy is on them. I crush up the eggshells. They are great for protection. You can put them in spells. You can sprinkle them around your house. There is many, many, many uses for eggshells. We will have to get to that one again on another video. On this one, I'm just trying to show you things that I grow outside that's free. I know the chickens wasn't free. I got them at Rural King, but literally their feed cost me $10 every 2 weeks. And I literally get 8 to a dozen eggs a day. Literally. Sorry, this is the only dandelion that I could find. My husband just cut grass. But dandelion, the whole thing from the root up, even to the bloom, even to the fuzzies. Dandelion is wonderful. Good for protection, but it's awesome for new beginnings. Things you want to, you know, to stay, like certain spells, like say you're happy at your job and you want to do a spell, something like that. Dandelions, they're so, I could do a whole episode on dandelions. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a whole episode on dandelions. Love them. I eat them. I dry them out. I use them in spells. I use them as things on my altars and anything of that nature. We'll just do an episode on it. My point with this video is, guys, you can go, I find all of these at my local flower shops. I always buy anything perennial. I do use some annual plants. I use some just yearly plants for certain things. But you can seriously find these literally at Lowe's or wherever it is you buy your plants, Walmart. And you can grow your own things that you need. And it's free. And perennial means it keeps coming back every single year. So, especially with the lavender, sorry about the motorcycle, I'm outside. Especially with the lavender and the rosemary. I mean, chamomile. I grow basil and lemon balm. And I mean, just every flower I showed you today is a perennial. And it's free every year. I don't have to go and buy anything. It's something that I'm growing with my own 2 hands, and I put all my energy into each one of my plants. And then I just wanted you guys to take this episode so that way you know. I just seen my pride flag was stuck. I got to fix that. But the reflection in the window, because it's right here. But anywho, sorry, another motorcycle. Not that that's bad. I love it. But it's loud and I want you guys to hear me. But I wanted to show you things that are literally right outside your door. Another one, literally, I'm getting ready to show you. That was granite. Granite helps you with abundance, protection, strength, overall health. Literally, I have chunks of granite throughout my house. You don't need to go buy any fancy crystals. Literally, this is stuff right outside your house that you can start with as a beginner. As a beginner. If you're just starting out. Plus, another thing that you need to be doing, please read. Question everything. Question it twice. I will always give that advice. Oh, I rhymed. Didn't know it. But anywho, I just want you guys to walk away with something. These are simple, easy, little things that I wanted you to know if you are a beginner. In which this is what this series is for. You can use these. You can put many of these different ones in the same spell bottle and it be for protection. Or just use them single. You don't even have to do a spell. Each one of them is for something different. But I do advise any witch practitioner out there that wants to get into this, literally order a book that is native, the plants that are native to where you're at, and then get you a book or read up on it about their symbolism and everything, and literally you can go out your front door and get whatever it is you need. I rarely spend money on things. Rarely. Unless it's something like I needed a Rose of Jericho for something. Or I might need, mugwort or something like that. But I'm saying a lot of times that'll be later on in episodes. But everything, literally, you don't need to go and buy all this expensive stuff. At all. You don't. You don't have to. None. Go get you a piece of granite, a little bit of lavender, a little bit of rosemary, a few peppercorns. Peppercorns are great for protection also and abundance. I mean, it's endless. But please, just do your homework. Witchcraft involves a lot of reading. A lot of reading. So, just take your time with it. And another thing, don't be worked up on what witch you want to be or whatever witch it is that you da-da-da-da-da. No. My advice is and will always be, go with what intrigues you. Go with what intrigues you. That's the reason why I'm eclectic. Eclectic is, I take from many different ones and use and create my own. But just don't choose yet. Wait till you find out what intrigues you. I love each and every one of you all, and I will see you on the next episode.